All right. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you. Let me share my own slide. Would it be okay?
Of course.
Let me share my slide on the challenges, and then uh, let me brief you about the challenges that we usually have in PMOs. There you go. If you can see the slides. Right. So welcome team. Welcome everyone. So by the way, for those who are just familiar with project management, and I've given a lot of you some introduction to project management, but not at this level, at the PMO level. So you must first of all know what is a PMO, right? I mean, project management is one thing. Every single one of you are doing projects. Every single one of you are doing projects. As I always say, project management is actually for life. All right. So it doesn't have to be a corporate related projects. It could even be as simple as organizing a wedding within your family or your relatives or whatsoever, that's also is a project. Even when you're planting a tree, as a part of your social community work, that's also is a project, right? Even as simple as organizing your children or your kids' birthday, that's also is a project. Everything is an event, right? So in every single projects, we do have project managers. Right. So yourself as a project manager, you'll be following if you're familiar with the methodology, the PMBOK, we have these 49 processes that we have to follow through in projects. Now, the challenge is when in certain organization we have multiple projects, not one, not two, not three, but when you have about, let's say, more than 10 or even hundreds of projects. The last organization that I worked with, there was about 400 projects running at the same time. Now, who is going to manage this? Each one of these projects, we have project managers, but each one of the project managers, they have their own, I would say, priority, or they have their own needs. They want to have their own resources. They want to have their own budget. They have, their own specific needs of the project. Now, certain of the resources might be conflicting. For example, the resources is an organizational resource, but some project managers might say, no, these particular resources are tied down to only my project, right? So now at this stage, somebody has to come and look at overall organizational level projects, to look at resources, to look at priorities, project priorities, to look at whether every project managers are following processes and tools and all the various templates that's on in project management. That's where the PMO comes in. So as you can see from the definition there, a PMO, which is a project management office, is a group of consisting of internal and external entities, the various stakeholders and interest groups, which defines, maintains, and ensures standards for project management to deliver strategic initiatives. So at organizational level, they might have certain overall strategic goals, and every single project needs to deliver those strategic initiatives. That's where we align it with PMO. So according to this definition is according to the PMO Global Institute's PMO guide, which is in the first edition at the moment. So that's the definition of a PMO. Now let's talk about the challenges, right? The challenges. According to the definition by PMI itself, and you can see the source at the bottom there, it says 75% of the PMOs fail, within 3 years. Right, let's take a look at why. All right, number one is all about the value. It's not about project. It's not about being a hero or whatsoever in my project. But at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, are we just being operational, or are we actually delivering value to the organization? So at the moment, the value is perceived as offering little or no value. That's one of the challenges that we have. And the other challenges why PMO actually fails is because there's lack of senior sponsorship for many reasons. It could be because they might say, what is PMO after all? Right? I'm not familiar with that word or the phrase PMO. Yeah. So, and the other one is they just do not get engaged or not being aware of the benefits of implementing a PMO in the organization. And the other one is actually, I would say this, inexperienced PMOs. Now, um, a lot of organizations, there are PMOs, and some PMOs, as I observe, and I think some practitioners here, you also observe this. The PMOs are actually PMP certified. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, we all are PMP certified, right? Isn't that a good thing? But here's the thing, PMO we don't follow the 49 processes. I mean, you can actually do the 49 processes as a project, but when it comes to PMO, there is a framework just for the PMO itself, right? And that's what uh, Mr. Abdullah will be briefing you about the framework later on. So are we following the project management framework, or are we following the PMO framework? That's the question, right? So a lot of PMO that I've seen, the PMO managers, they are PMPs but not PMO certified. The other one that I look at is strategic vision. It's not aligned to the organizational strategy. And the PMOs are, they're very much operational rather than being a strategic as well. Right? This is another challenge that we have. Business and sponsor does not realize what are the PMO benefits or values within the organization. And most of the time, PMO are seen as, oh my gosh, just another guy. They are coming to audit my projects. They are more seen as a project police rather than a strategic partner to look at overall organizational vision and mission. So this is the other challenges that PMOs have. And there are also low project success rate because multiple projects, they are using different types of processes and tools. Yeah, and which, there's no standardization between all the projects. And here comes the hero PMs. Every project managers, they think they are right because of their experiences. So therefore, my template must be the right one. My way of running project is the same, and it must be the right one. So when you have a huge organization and with, let's say, 100 project managers who claim to be experienced, and everybody becomes a hero, right? And there's no standard anywhere organizational wide in terms of implementing the project management. So there comes the PMO then. And the other one is failure to streamline all the processes across board within the organization. So these are some of the challenges that was identified as the reasons why PMO actually fails. Now let me talk about how does a PMO actually benefits organization. Number of ways how an organization can actually benefit through PMO. Number one is it has top-down strategic alignment in the PMO with the business. Number two, it talks about delivering value, not just project results, on time, on budget, within quality. That's a typical, what do you call our slogans, right, in project management. But we must now change to talking about how to deliver value, consistency, and accuracy to the organization as well. And here comes another one, which is crucial for PMO. PMO plays a role in being a strategic decision maker for the organization as well. All right, every single decisions that we make must be relevant to the value and must be relevant to the strategic goals of the organization. PMO also facilitates project completion. We are not just there to just look at whether you're following or complying to the processes, but we also help providing the expertise to all the project managers to make sure that they finish their projects on schedule. And on top of that, PMO also helps in training your project managers, mentoring them, coaching them, give them knowledge transfer in how to do projects, and all of these are part of the PMO's function as well. And then PMO also provides the organizational standard, right? Not specific project, as I said, heroes, right? So we don't encourage heroes, but everybody follows an organizational standard, best practice, and provide a central repository of all your documents and artifacts, and also on quality and records, and also efficiency of your projects. And the other one that we look at in terms of PMO benefits will be organizational data measurement, right? So data must be measured. So there I remember one of my coach last time, he mentioned what you can't measure, you can't improve. Right. So therefore, that phrase has been stuck to me for more than 20 years now. Anything that you do you must be able to measure. Right. So for example, time to go live, whether you have achieved your goals, what kind of impact you have created, what are the time to results, various other data need to be analyzed and must be measured. Right. So these are some of the benefits that you can actually look at when you're talking about PMO. The other one is, of course, communication. That's crucial. In business, communication is crucial between your stakeholders and yourself in PMO, and also to all the various project managers and to all the business community as well. Yeah, so
Sorry,
that's
Nurul.
yep, sure.
Sorry. I just really apologize for interrupting. How do we raise questions or want to put
Oh, you
up
can put
comments
it at the chat.
during
Oh,
this?
that's a good question. You can put it at the chat, and there are facilitators who will be capturing all of these questions and will be answering at the end of the session as well. We have
All right,
allocated
cool.
time
Thank
for the
you.
question.
Cool.
Thank you for Parama
All
for
right.
asking that question. All right, so
Cool.
that's the end of my part by giving the introduction of the challenges. Now let me pass it on to the next speaker to carry out in terms of how PMO can actually help in terms of framework.